Alex believed in peace, not just selective peace, but always peace, against all wars, and always looking forward to having peaceful and democratic and diplomatic relations.
So ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask everyone to take your seats, I think we're ready. Esteban, the cameras. Okay. Excellent. Please feel free. So ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to take a moment now to reflect on a very special member of our advisory board who we actually didn't collaborate so long, but in the time period that we did collaborate, we really did so many things really that had an impact. Alex Salmond not only was the former First Minister of Scotland, who almost brought Scotland to independence, but he was really, I always refer to him as a man of the people, someone who really everyone felt comfortable with. The last memories that the three of us had together with him was in North Macedonia, where he traveled all the way there because of his commitment to youth and young leaders. And I remember many asked, why is he going all the way over there? That's just a great example, the distances that he would go when he saw opportunities to have an impact, to give back, to inspire next generations. So it was really in that framework that I had the privilege of getting to know Alex, and I saw so many examples of individuals who, even if you spoke to for 5 minutes, that had an impact on them, and they would speak to me about that weeks later, months later, and it was really an amazing gift, which I think we are all grateful for, having experienced firsthand. And I'm confident that his legacy really is living on as we speak. You can feel the ripple effect. And as I said, actually, in the memorial that we did for him in Macedonia, we can't complain when God takes something from us. We have to give thanks for what he gives us. And really, God gave us so much with Alex that I had the privilege to witness on so many occasions. So we thought it was appropriate today at the next Institute for Cultural Diplomacy event taking place since, unfortunately, he left us when we were together in Macedonia, that we wanted to really have just a brief moment to reflect on the wonderful contributions that he gave to the Academy for Cultural Diplomacy, to the young leaders, to really all of the members of our advisory board and board who got to know him, but also as a moment of seeing how this legacy can also move forward from here and also from then. So I'd like to ask maybe first President Ivanov to offer a few reflections, and then Tasmina, and then afterwards it'd be great if we had a moment of silence where we can all reflect also on Alex. But first of all, please, President Ivanov.
I will speak Macedonian language. Со Алекс и со Tasmina се запознахме благодарејќи на Марк.
Okay. Can you check the microphone?
No, it's fine. I basically first met Mr. Salmond together with Tasmina because of Mark.
Марк не покани на форумот за демократија во Берлин минатата година и ние учествувавме заедно на панелот за правото на самоопределување на народите.
We met during this event called that was organized by Mark, Forum for Democracy and Peace, and we attended at the same panel regarding self-determination.
И во моето излагање ја кажав за искуството на Македонија како е стекна својата независност и дека Шкотска, доколку успее референдумот, нема никаква правна пречка да го оствари правото на самоопределување.
During this event, I was celebrating over our experience and how we got our independence, and I was referring to the Scottish case that basically there are no law obstacles if the referendum is successful.
Особено по последниот случај со новата држава, последната членка на Обединените нации, Источен Тимор, правото на самоопределување станува ius cogens, не може никој да го оспори.
And especially after the last example with the last member of UN, the East Timor, and basically that the right of self-determination is a ius cogens, that nobody can basically go against this right.
И Алекс и Tasmina пројавија желба да дознаат што повеќе за Македонија.
And through this formal but also informal discussions, Alex together with Tasmina, they wanted to be more familiar with our experience to discuss more about the Macedonian case as well.
И кога дојде планот за да го организираме во Охрид вториот форум за културна дипломатија, Tasmina и Алекс веднаш се пријави да дојдат во Македонија.
And actually when the idea to organize the second cultural diplomacy forum in Macedonia in Ohrid, basically Tasmina and Alex were the first one who showed interest to come to Macedonia and to continue with our discussions.
И навистина имавме многу успешен форум. Јас не бев свесен колку Алекс е популарен во Македонија. Дојдоа луѓе специјално да го слушат него и неговото излагање.
Apart from the fact that the forum was very successful, something that strikes me very much that I was not aware of was the fact that so many young people from Macedonia came to our event only because of Mr. Salmond, because he was so popular among young people and what he achieved.
За жал беше тоа последниот негов јавен настап.
Unfortunately, this was his last public appearance.
Ако и за утеха, последната негова вечер од неговиот живот ја поминавме во највообичаено балканско расположение во ресторан, каде бевме заедно со дел од присутните кои се и денес тука со нас.
At least something that I can mention regarding the whole tragedy is that the final hours of Mr. Salmond, the last night, was spent in a beautiful company with beautiful people around him, enjoying life, enjoying music, enjoying food, and it was his last night was very, very cheerful and nice.
Беше многу расположен, весел, правеше посебно со господинот Моратинос, бидејќи седеа еден наспроти друг, правеа шали, знае да се од се да се насмееме. Ги пеа сите песни на сите присутни од сите држави кои беа присутни гостите.
I have to say that he was very cheerful. He was very satisfied, and together with Ms. Moratinos, they had a lovely exchange of songs. They were singing songs together. They were making jokes together, one to another, and it was very fun to watch this.
И утре дента за време на ручекот, додека ние бевме со господин Моратинос во Охрид, во градот, ни јавија дека се случил тој трагичен настан.
And after the first session, actually, the day that was with Ms. Moratinos, just a few hours later, we received the sad news about his passing.
Секој од нас чувствуваше некоја грижа на совест, зашто тоа се случи.
We were all overwhelmed with this whole burden, why this thing happened.
Но ако е за утеха, аутопсијата покажа да били во најопремената болница, во најсовремените услови, тој не можел да го преживее тој heart attack.
Unfortunately, no, as the autopsy showed, it was a massive heart attack right on the place when he was, so this is life.
За жал, тоа е животот. Но ние имаме крај нас една мудрост која вели дека човекот не умира кога ќе го погребаат, туку кога ќе го заборават.
We have this sort of a proverb that says that people are not dying when they're going to pass away, people are dying actually when they are forgotten.
Затоа да го чуваме споменот на Алекс.
That's why I'm sure that we will protect the memory of Mr. Alex and we'll keep the memory of
Неговиот позитивен дух, неговата појава кој секој пат и неговиот збор кој инспирираше и не мотивираше да размислуваме секој пат многу поинако од тоа што сме научени ние во живот.
And that we will always remember his positive spirit, we will remember all of his words that were truly inspiring, and we will keep this memory for so long.
И секој пат ветрата страна на животот да си ја чуваме за себе и за своите блиски. Затоа што животот брзо проаѓа и подобро да пројде во убави моменти со позитивни луѓе кои ќе ни инспирираат и ќе ни остават сеќавања за цел живот.
And this is a message also to us to think about how are we spending our lives, with whom we're spending our lives, always to refer to this positive experience and to refer to the positive people that are surrounding us.
Вечна му спомен.
Let's keep his memory always alive.
I think this is a mic I have to hold. Can I start by thanking you, first of all, for taking time out to pay tribute to Alex. And I must also start by, on behalf of the family, Mrs. Salmond, Moira Salmond, and his siblings, Margaret, Gail, and Bob, thank both the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy and the Government of North Macedonia for the respect they have given to myself and to the family and to Scotland in how they dealt with such a tragic situation. The Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, we have seen, has many sessions and speaks about big things, important things that are happening all across the world. But what you should know is that when it comes down to basic humanity and care for your fellow citizen, that is what they demonstrated in Ohrid, in my respect. The care and attention I was given by Mark and his team, who were so worried for my well-being, and dealing with what was effectively an international incident I shall never forget. And I'm very grateful. And that continues to this day, because it doesn't just last in the moment, it lasts beyond that. And that, I think, exemplifies what the ICD stands for. It's enduring relationships and people that matter. I'd also like to thank President Ivanov and his family, Ivan here, and your mother, Ivan, your wife, President Ivanov, and the current president of North Macedonia, who demonstrated in a moment of tragedy how a government should conduct itself, and conduct itself well, it did, with such compassion, and right through to the repatriation of Alex, which is very difficult, because there was a time in between when we weren't sure how quickly we could return Alex to his family, primarily to Moira. But when we got to the airport, the government were just so kind, and I should pay tribute also to the UK ambassador to North Macedonia, who was also exceptionally kind. So thank you very much indeed for the respect you have both given to myself and the family. May I also pay tribute to some of you who are here today, Miguel, Daniela, Yossi, Darvo there at the back, who spent Alex's last evening with him at dinner. And as you've articulated, it was an evening of song, enjoyment and fun, but also interesting conversations. But that's what Alex was all about. In the short space of time that some of you got to meet him, Miguel, I think in particular, just at that event, he had such a lasting impact on you. I don't think it will ever leave you. And I think that demonstrates the kind of person Alex was. He made sure he left a lasting impact or said something that resonated in the minds and hearts of people who he met. I won't go into the final moments of Alex because I've shared those only with his family, and that is appropriate. But after that amazing dinner where we sung and ate and had good times with each other, the following morning we were discussing the Berlin Initiative because we'd met with Daniela and Yossi just the night before. And myself and Alex had studied the Confederation document with a view to actively participating in discussions with you. And he was so keen to do so because Alex believed in peace, not just selective peace, but always peace, against all wars, and always looking forward to having peaceful and democratic and diplomatic relations with everyone. And of course, he was speaking about Scotland. Alex never stopped speaking about Scotland. And I know he mentioned to Miguel Moratinos the day before that he wanted to speak with Miguel about something. And of course, that was going to be about Scotland. That conversation never took place, but it wasn't meant to be. However, on the morning when we had discussed the document and on our way in to lunch, which was Alex's last moment, he passed a student of the academy who stopped him and said, "Mr. Salmond, Mr. Salmond." And of course, Alex stopped. He always stopped to speak to everybody and regarded everybody with the same level of respect. "Mr. Salmond," he said, "do you have any regrets?" To which Alex said, "No, son, none whatsoever." Alex said to me in the night before, actually, he passed, about how much he loved Ohrid. And he said, "Taz," as he would call me, "we must come back here for another forum. This is a very beautiful place, full of beautiful people with warm hearts and kind-hearted people with good minds and good ideas about life. This is where people should come to think and reflect and make a better world." Long may that continue. Long may Alex's memory live on. He's left an indelible impact on me, his family, all of Scotland and beyond. And the tributes that have been paid to Alex in the Scottish Parliament and at Westminster by friends as well as political adversaries and internationally is testament to the mark he left on people and on humanity. Thank you very much indeed for marking him and honouring him in the way you have done so beautifully. Very grateful to you.
No, thank you very much, also Tasmina. And I just want to underline what you said. I also really, when I think of Alex, I think of a man of peace. And there were actually two important meetings that we had scheduled in Ohrid to discuss specifically the Berlin Initiative and the plan for Israel and Palestine. The first meeting took place. It was excellent. The second meeting, unfortunately, not. Therefore, I wanted to take a moment now to ask everyone to please stand just for a moment, to have a moment of silence, thinking that he can be with us in the second meeting as we also discuss the future of Israel, Palestine, and peace. I know his spirit and his legacy is in many ways here with us right now. Thank you very much. So, all right, I think we should try to, as you were saying at the end of the last session, let's get to work and let's try to use this as a moment of also looking forward and making sure that his legacy does live on through the work that we do. So maybe we could do one final round of applause also in honor for Alex.